Yeah. Starting with the breath. Hmm. I love the gift of breathing, the gift of technology, being able to live stream straight into the group. What a blessing! What a blessing. Greetings, beloveds. I am live streaming from sunny California. And one of the things that I've learned through years of channeling is how I sit. Really, really important. So I felt a few spots, and I'm actually sitting on the floor. So it supports my spine. And our friend Buddha is here with us. Some flowers for beauty. And yes, I'm a little bit earlier to breathe with you, to breathe with you, to drop in before we open up the space for such illuminating exploration as a starseed soul ascension. Wow, how deeply I have been moved to see such a big interest in this topic from my community. And I only highlighted this event for literally 7 days, and 166 of you said yes. It's the 160 are the ones who've made it to the group. I think around 250 people signed up and got lost from the email to the Facebook group. It's a long journey. So those of you who have made it here, congratulations. It's such a joy to be with you, beloveds. So you will see there are comments right underneath this live stream. You can engage with me in comments. I really intend to make this highly interactive. So I will invite you to comment and to share your answers, especially when we start talking about symptoms of ascensions and signs of star seeds, because it's such a powerful research for me. It's an ongoing research. So when I hear your answers, it will expand my knowledge base of what I think I know about star seeds, because you contribute from your experience, right? So this is a warm up. And I will have a second backup of checking your comments on my phone. So let's try this out right now, beloveds. Oh, I see your comments all right here, but for some, so oh, now I see them here on Facebook. Okay. All right, I see it over here. I see it over here. Wow. So now I see your comments on the Facebook screen, and then I also see you on my phone. So if you see me looking down, you know what it is. Let's arrive, 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 and as always, beloveds, the number one currency in the world of spirit is attention, is presence. So, how to make sure that your field is maximally attuned to the transmission that will be channeling through today. If you're in an environment that you can get easily distracted, headphones are your best friend, right? Because for the next 3 days, we will have it attunement, transmission, meditation slash ritual activation. So for you to receive and to anchor it in, I invite your heartfelt presence. And also I invite self-compassion. If you notice your mind getting distracted, or you were only able to join for part of the session, don't be so hard on yourself. Allow yourself this beautiful flow. This is your experience. And when I looked at who have joined, so many of my peers, light workers, people who are walking this path, teaching others about ascension, it's a great honor for me to see such strong group of light workers coming together. And truly the intention for this event to build up our mutual fire for this, the mission of our soul, our personal mission, and also the mission of our group mission, right? As a tribe of light workers, we have a common mission. We are on the same team. We serve a higher plan. We're here for the healing of the soul of the world. And so the intention for this event to ignite a deeper fire, because when we are connected to a much higher vision, how we will be inspired to share our voice, to share our heart, to share our gifts with the world goes to the new level, right? The second intention is to ignite a greater remembrance. I have found, and I wonder if you can agree with me, it's an ongoing process of remembrance. It's a spiral. Ascension, awakening is a spiral. We're going higher and higher and higher in a new point of perception, new ability, new altitude. So we serve each other as code carriers. And the code is that a point of activation, point of remembrance. So we help each other to remember something on a deeper level. And one of the reasons why I felt guided to be so precise in naming this event as a Starseed Soul Ascension, because all three words are code words. All three words are code words. So a code will ignite a curiosity, a sense of familiarity, and also a deep, deep craving to understand this code and to receive its power, right? A source code. So this is just the beginning. I wanted to give 5 minutes for everybody together. Welcome, beloveds. I am so happy to be with you. I am live streaming from a sunny California. For those of you who's gonna watch this as a replay, as we are all on different time zones, thank you for making the time for your soul. 2021 was a very powerful year. 2022, even more powerful, even more call for us to ignite our soul mission. So if you're here, I am so grateful. Thank you so much for these hearts. Thank you for your presence. And let's just take a deep breath together. And I feel guided to open up with a mini ritual of bringing our higher self into here and now. So closing our eyes for just a few seconds. Straighten up your spine. Right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart, merging these two ancient portals of your power. Deepening into this moment, visualizing your root chakra, anchoring you into this moment. And then imagining that your crown chakra opens up simply through your intention. That space above your head begins to open and vibrate with diamond luminous light. And now imagine that your higher self in the shape of a white dove begins to descend and enter through your crown and go all the way into the area of your heart. And the white dove represents your innocence, the innocence of your spirit. Merging our human self with our higher self is the journey, is the path of ascension. Just notice how different you feel simply through this gift of attunement that took us 20 seconds. And right here, let's invoke the first law of magic, first law of all magic. And it's the law of intent. What is your intent for being here? Intent is like a galactic arrow that you begin to stretch and aim, stretch and aim. What is your intent? Maybe your intent is, I choose to remember. I choose to awaken. I choose to merge my superconscious, conscious, and subconscious levels of being into wholeness. I choose to feel connected to my fellow starseeds. I choose to be here present, and I offer my presence as an offering to the Great Spirit. The first law of magic is the law of intent. Your intent is a sword, your intent is an arrow. Your intent is your magic wand. Honor your intent. Hold it close to your heart. All right, beloveds, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy to be here. So happy to be here. In today's transmission, what I feel would be inspiring for all of us to align on the level of definitions, right? What does it mean to be a starseed? What does it mean to ascend? Where are we ascending to? So after I cover some definitions to make sure that we have clarity what we use those definitions for, we are going to explore the first milestone of soul ascension. For the sake of simplicity, I simplified it to the three main archetypal stages. And since awakening is not a linear process, awakening is a divine spiral. Spiral is the very, very primordial geometry or language of the universe. The universe is built on geometry, the light language. So we begin to remember that we are moving in a very spiral level. So when we go through these three stages and we reach a particular top of the spiral, our journey begins anew, and we begin to awaken to even deeper remembrance. So this is why 1111 right here, right now, this is why this experience is powerful for all of us, no matter which part of the journey that we find ourselves, whether we are just discovering that we are the star seeds and we have the soul mission, and there are others who are looking and working towards the same soul mission, or whether you've been on this path for the last 10 years and 2012 was your point of ignition of you coming out of the metaphysical and spiritual closets and beginning to share your voice out in the open. Maybe you have been working for this vision for the last 40 years or 30 years, and you're one of the elders who are here and to see how far the evolution and awakening has truly unfolded. I welcome all and every single one of us, because there is only one of us, and we are unique individual sparkles of one great spirit who is the mother to us all. And as long as I remember, I was on this search for all things beyond physical life. I was obsessed with what happens after death. I was asking my mother and every adult in my environment when I was, not even 7 years old, what happens after death and why I'm here and what the meaning of this life. So if you can resonate with this, let me know in the comments that a lot of starseeds or light workers have this very early quest for meaning, a very early quest for I am here to find something real. It takes a particular maturity for the soul to start searching for a higher truth. We have spent lifetimes and lifetimes immersed in chasing desires and chasing status and chasing power and chasing money, right? As a progression of the soul, this is correct for maybe many lifetimes. And then there is a point where the soul gets tired of chasing superficial satisfaction, and the soul chooses to incarnate with very specific assignment to awaken to what is real. Yes, curiosity of life. So beloveds, for me it was absolute obsession with all things soul and spirit and higher consciousness. And growing up in Russia, I was not exposed to the spiritual revival that people in the United States were exposed to. I discovered Wayne Dyer and Carolyn Myss and Louise Hay only when I moved to the United States 17 years ago. I grew up in communism, where spiritual life of the country was deeply suppressed. So I had this pulse for spirit, but I didn't really have anybody pointing me to the path, or this is where you develop your mystical gifts, so this is how you develop your connection to that higher intelligence. But I will never forget year 2008, when I first was introduced to the word galactic. I wasn't introduced to the word starseed just yet, but the first code word that I was given was the word galactic. And I was introduced to a galactic channel called Bashar when he was quite popular in a very small circle, small mystical circles. And I remember a friend of mine gave me a CD and he says, I think you will resonate with that. I remember cracking my CD player and putting it, just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to play it. And I put it on the CD player and I started listening, and the voice of the channel, just listening to the voice of the channel, even though I couldn't grasp 100% of what was being channeled, the transmission and the vibration was activating my light body, right? That spirit body. Yeah. So we live in exquisite times where not only we have so much channeled information at our fingertips, wisdom lineages from different traditions, ancient wisdom lineages begin to make themselves wildly available, the same as visionary plants, the shamanic plants, who used to be only available to the indigenous tribes. And then the Mother Earth is revealing her secrets. In the last 50 years, we have found more new archaeological evidence of life on Earth going so much further back than we thought it would be. And we are just warming up. And this is a very, very powerful decade because the acceleration of awakening on this planet will only continue to go faster and faster and faster. So if you are here, beloveds, and you already walk the path of a teacher of consciousness, a healer, spiritual healer, a body worker, right, a yogi, anything that you do that connects other people to the guru within, to the wisdom within, what I will present in the next 3 days will be immense value for you, because then you can see the map. You will meet people on these 3 stages, and each stage requires a specific approach, right? A particular level of guidance, a set of tools to support a soul, not only going through a personal transformation, but then anchoring that awakening and integrating that awakening to move on to the next stage. So very, very powerful to remember these, so then you can intuitively read where the person is, and then bring that sense of confidence in your skills and the very deep importance of your mission right now to your community, knowing that you can support people on the first stage, on the second stage, on the third stage, or maybe all across the board, because how deeply you care, because you've been training for this soul mission all your life, and because you know once you awaken you cannot fall back asleep. So it is a pure delight, beloveds, to be with you and to share this galactic transmission. If you've been following my work, you know I love to play at a really big range. And I work with people on different topics, but one thing I began to notice in the last 8 years of doing my work online and leading this movement online is that I attract people who have connection to their soul's mission. And at first I was calling them my fellow mystics. Now I call them my fellow starseeds. My fellow starseeds. So it's a great joy for me to open up this group, and this group gonna be open for only this event. And yes, you can access replays for up to a week after we finish this event. And why I only give a week? Because I want to help you not get distracted or get trapped into procrastination. When something is available all the time, we humans rarely value that. So if I give a time constraint, only a week, there's a quite higher chance that you'll dive into these replays and you will receive a deeper level of integration for what's going to come through. We begin with definitions. Starseed. So the starseed is a code word that I love to use that truly describes anyone who is connected to the life on other planets. Anyone who feels like you are an older soul, as this is not your first rodeo. And usually starseeds, they begin their journey feeling deeply misplaced on this planet. They have this sense of longing for their true home. Let me know in the comments if you ever felt that. When you look at the star and you look at Orion belt and you feel this almost pain in your heart. You want to go home. You want to go home. And usually for a lot of starseeds, the beginning of the journey begins by trying to transcend the discomfort of being in the human body. Being in the human body is actually not that easy. It's so much easier to open your crown, right? And you may have had this ability to astral travel and to have out body experiences since you were a little child. And I'm almost certain so many of you, and me included, did not have the proper training. We didn't have the role models or supportive family environment that would encourage us to trust those deeply spiritual experiences. Yeah, so this is a very common starseed trait that we begin feeling not that comfortable living in the body. And we long for our true home. When we look at the stars, we desire to merge our consciousness with a star. Or we feel like we came from a different star system. So of course, channeling or life on other planets is rarely something that you doubt. It's something that is a common knowledge. For a lot of starseed, life on other planet is a common knowledge. It's something that you may remember and visit through your dreams. A lot of times when I talk to my fellow starseeds, they say, you know, I have dreams of being on different civilization ships. I have a dream of communicating with other star nations, whether it's Pleiadians or Octarians or Orions or Sirians, right? Yes, beloveds. A lot of starseeds, old souls who feel as they are not originally from planet Earth, that they came here from the stars to carry out a very specific mission that is cosmic in nature, meaning that their mission is connected to something that will affect entire universe. And they feel a sense of urgency for that mission since very, very early age. Let me know if you can resonate with this. I remember the first, 30 years of my life, I lived in a silent background and anxiety that time was running out. And I had to find my spiritual mission. Those years were filled with dark nights and deep swings into deep melancholy because I was restless. I knew I couldn't rest until I would find my true mission. And I felt this pressure of time running out. And it wasn't just a personal pressure, I felt it was a collective pressure. So let me know if you felt that, because this is also a very common starseed trait. Yeah. And then, of course, we have these extrasensory abilities. Ability to feel the energy, ability to read somebody's emotions, to see through somebody's intentions, right? really powerful. And again, maybe you did not have the supportive environment to nurture those gifts. So maybe you have been developing them in the secrecy, in a way, in the privacy of your home. A lot of star seeds will spend a good portion of their lives, maybe 10, 15, sometimes 20 plus years, living a double life. And there is absolutely no shame and no judgment and no guilt about that. This is a fact. And a double life, meaning where you cultivate your spiritual life, but you rarely share it with anybody else. Because it's terrifying. It's scary. You're trying to heal yourself and work on yourself, and the last thing you want is being misunderstood by your coworkers or your family. So while you're gaining in your strength and your inner stability, you keep your spiritual life private. So this is exactly what I did, beloveds. I've led a double life. And for me to come out publicly and to begin teach consciousness and spirituality, that took good 10 years. And I actually birthed 2 successful online brands before I came out of my spiritual closet, and I said, actually, my deepest message is all about the soul. And that was a very pivotal moment on my journey, as my decision to trust this deeper message and come into alignment with my true message opened up a whole portway. Wow, that's a new word. Portway. Opened up a new portway. And then my true community was finally able to see me and to recognize me and to link to me. You see, when we are not authentic about the message that is truly ours to share, our message is diluted. It only appears to ego that we are playing it safe, but it's actually diluted, and the true power of our voice cannot channel through because we have these filters. And the process of awakening is to remove these filters. The first stage, we're removing the masks, we're removing the filters. So let's talk about a couple more signs of starseeds. It's extrasensory gifts, beloveds. Whether it's telepathy is a very, very natural gift. We have been taught to distrust our knowing. We have been taught to ignore our intuition. We have been taught that the voices in your head that you hear is just the crazy voices. Don't hear them. And I'm here to validate, to confirm, and to help all of us to remember. Clairaudience is the gift of ability to hear your higher self, to hear your guides, to hear the voice of spirit. And clear seeing is when you receive a prophetic dream, or you receive an image, you receive your information through images. And then clear knowing is when your bodies get flooded with this knowing. And extrasensory gifts are given to us so we learn to trust our own inner guidance. So we learn to dispel the shadow of the doubt, and we learn to trust the guidance that we receive from the quantum field around us, from our higher self, and from the main compass, which is the compass of our multidimensional center, right here in the center of our heart space. So, beloveds, if you have been discouraged on your path to not trust your extrasensory abilities, it is all by design, because the collective mind is the field of collective thoughts, and the collective mind has been a confused mind, an injured mind, a selfish mind, right? A mind that is focused on survival, competition, and power, the low vibrational power. So when every single one of us awakens to a higher mind, we begin to heal the collective mind by healing our own thoughts, by healing our focus, by healing where we spend our precious time. What do we do with our mind? So let's begin with a very, very powerful term that it's called ascension. So the star seeds, old souls who have the sense of urgency to find their spiritual mission, they often come with this knowing that this is a very special lifetime, and they step on this search for truth, for something real, usually at an early life, even if it's done in secret and they live a double life for some time, they don't stop searching. And then ascension. Ascension is another code word, right? And I remember when I first heard the word ascension, I felt it was a bolt of spiritual light coming through me. And then I heard the word ascended masters. And all I wanted, how can I meet these masters? How can I learn? How can I establish contact with them? How can I ascend? What is ascension? I got super obsessed with the topic. And ascension, beloveds, is a very organic process of awakening our energy body. We first awaken our energy. It's in the Hindu tradition, it is described as Kundalini awakening, awakening the ancient serpentine power, the power of your Shakti, the power of divine life force. This is why the first stage, awakening, is all about changing what you eat, changing what you listen to, changing your environment, changing how you breathe, changing the water that you drink. Because in order to activate the physical vessel, we get to create new habits, new lifestyle choices, new environment. So energy body awakens and your sensitivity increases. So the first stage of awakening, so many star seeds become recluses, become deep hermits. Let me know in the comments. Okay, tell me if you had a hermit stage. I love my hermit stage so much. And remember, this is a spiral, beloveds. This is a spiral. So the first stage of awakening, right? I love my hermit stage. I'm such a happy hermit. But then Spirit will ask you, when there is a second stage, you will be invited to leave your hermit codes behind and be able to sit in the busy marketplace with all swirling energy around you and become a still Buddha. That is all about second stage that we're going to cover tomorrow, and the third stage, where the hermit identity must be surrendered. So you become that lighthouse. Imagine a lighthouse that never turns the light on. Imagine that. And the ship's trying to come to the shore, and the lighthouse says, I am a hermit here. So hermit stage is a very important stage, beloveds. I love that stage, right? Knowing that it's a temporary stage. I usually enjoy it when it's given to me. So the hermit codes, right? The first stage of our Kundalini awakening. We become incredibly sensitive, a sensitive flower. And at first, it feels like weakness. And you say, how can I even function in the world? I'm such a sensitive flower. Everything begins to feel overwhelming. Well, you begin to awaken your ability to master your energy. You begin to remember, wow, I can master my energetic boundaries. I can give a command to my emotional body not to automatically process emotional wounds of others. I don't need to be a walking confession booth and just take on people's garbage. I can remember I'm a sovereign being. And this is a very powerful stage, right, beloved? It's a very powerful stage where we begin this process of mastering our energy. And our Kundalini keeps rising. And what I have noticed, Kundalini rising is a very unique experience. There is no blueprint, there is no formula. Ancient traditions such as the Buddhic tradition, the Tibetan tradition talks about the rainbow body. And I always love that image where you see a Buddha and this whole rainbow hollow around it, right? Where all 7 or 10 layers of your being, depends on the tradition that you resonate. Egyptian tradition will say you have 10 bodies. So imagine that most of us, we begin with our consciousness when we incarnate into a new body. Our spirit is an embryo within us. And the first 21 years are dedicated to developing and establishing physical body. That's why you rarely see anybody searching for true spiritual awakening before 21 years old. Yes, 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 there are some activated beings who start their journey at a much younger age, but it's a very, very small percentage. Usually a real awakening process begins mid-life, mid-30s, mid-40s, right? Because awakening, our physical vehicle has to have a certain level of strength to withstand the power of true awakening. Because awakening is dismantling process. Awakening is the process of removing these layers of artificial identity, masks, and lenses. So we begin to connect with this golden being within. Veronica says 45, Serena says 33. Keep commenting, beloveds. I am going to check in here. Oh wow, this is so cool that I can see your comments right here. Thank you so much. What a powerful engagement we have over here. What a strong group. I knew it when I saw who was joining. I was like, this is going to be an activation for all of us. So awakening. What are we awakening to? Well, we're awakening that we are here as a soul on the journey. And this powerful word of ascension, right, beloveds? Ascension. Ascension is a deep metamorphosis where we merge. This is divine dance of our human self and our higher self. It's two powerful forces that magnetize to each other. It's the force of matter and the force of spirit, or the power. They're merging together. And where do they meet? They meet in our heart. And the heart awakening is an awakening of our multidimensional awareness, beloveds. Because it's through the heart portal we can access other dimensions. We can be the time travelers. We can heal the past. We can intuit the future. We can create our life by being intentional and present in the now. So let's talk about time travelers and why starseeds is such a powerful code word to awaken the ancient wisdom that lays within every single one of you. Within every single one of you lay Akashic records. Akashic records are not somewhere outside of you. Akashic records are coiled as a serpentine energy around every single strand of your DNA. Akashic records, for those who may be beginners and new to this term, right? I was not always in the know what those are. But imagine this is a library of all the information of all of your soul's lifetimes. And not only all of your soul's lifetimes, but everybody you know and you don't know. Everything that has ever happened and will happen in all the possible variations of multiple universes, all of that is stored in this invisible fabric of the universe called Akashic Records. And it is my perspective that Akashic Records are within you. And this is why it's so important to use the power of your intent to activate those memories. And by the power and the grace of the Great Spirit, our remembrance is gradual. Because if we were able to remember the whole picture, our mind would collapse in overwhelm. This is why with every stage of remembrance, we're being accessed a bigger and bigger and bigger story of where the creation is heading. How do we play a part in that creation? How unique is our contribution? How important our choices really are, and how, above all else, the most important contribution we can make is a contribution of our vibration. Our consciousness is our contribution to reality. Ascension is awakening the immortality code within. Ascension is realizing that death is an illusion, that we cannot die. Ascension is removal and purging out of every single fear out of your system. Ascension is remembering that fear is here to be witnessed, deeply felt, and released into the earth. Released into the earth. Beloveds, I serve Pachamama. To me, my God is a goddess. My God has a feminine essence who gave birth to duality. My goddess gave birth to duality. Pachamama is what she's been called in the Andean region, in Peru, in Chile, in Brazil. Pachamama is the goddess of this planet. Gave birth to duality. When we begin to access the ancient wisdom that is stored within your cell, the Akashic records that's stored within your cell, allowing the Kundalini to come up, and the Kundalini will come up and activate your entire body, and then you will be given this process of sweet integration until a next level of activation comes your way, and the next level of activation comes your way, and tomorrow on a stage 2, which is all about remembering the initiate within you. If awakening you first, you awaken to a much bigger picture. You awaken to your soul mission. Then the second stage is awakening to the planetary mission, that you are here because you consciously incarnated and you're here to remember the initiate within you, who is not afraid of initiations by fire, but looks forward, because fire is cleansing for the ego. Fire, alchemy, is what we receive to accelerate this process of empowerment. Yeah, Sherry says, definitely had another Kundalini awakening. Yes, beloved. So this is Kundalini awakening. For me, was the thing that just shattered so much of what was not necessary. Because Kundalini awakenings, awakening to your most juicy life, to the life filled with ecstasy, to the life filled with joy. Awakening and ascension can be ecstatic. I am here for ecstatic ascension. Let me know if you're here with me. And if you say, I would love to ecstatically ascend to a higher and higher degree of experiences. Serena says, what was your Kundalini like? Oh, Serena, you know, for me, my Kundalini awakening first began with really when I began practicing sacred sexuality and really activating my channels with an aligned sexual partner. Because this is the gate. Once you start valuing your sexuality as sacred, once you see your body as a portal to higher dimensions, through aligned sexual union, you can access a much, much higher soul power. So honor the gift of Eros when it's being sent to you, and work with it consciously. And then you can access that through breath work, through meditation, through yoga, through fasting. There is infinite ways to access your divinity. And what I would encourage, beloveds, what I would encourage is to trust your natural impulse. You know how sometimes in the past I tried to force meditation. I tried to make myself meditate. And I couldn't make that practice stick. And only now I see that I simply wasn't ready for it. And my meditation at that stage was moving meditation. And when I would begin to run, I would transcend my mind. And that was my form of meditation, right? So instead of forcing yourself, I'm a bad meditator, or I'm a bad breather, I'm a bad yogi, that's just playing the ego game of trying to bend yourself into something that you are not fully ready for. But when you have that natural curiosity, wow, right now I'm obsessed with crystals. And I can't wait but to get more crystals and to work with them and to talk to them, right? Or right now I love ecstatic dance, and that's my portal. But I have found if you follow your natural impulse, that's your gateway for right now. And then it may shift. It will shift. You will outgrow what is serving you right now, because everything is a spiral of ascension, right, beloveds? Everything is a spiral of ascension. So awakening, beloveds, awakening is a gradual process, often with a shocking ignition. Often our higher self will use some sort of disrupting event to catch our attention. Right? Yeah, you resonate, right? You resonate with that. So the shocking event, by the grace of our higher self, a lot of times have been described as the dark night of the soul, which truly is a dark night of the ego. Because when the ego begins to get dismantled by the soul is going through a process of shaking the ego structures, right? Because the ego structures become so solidified. And when our soul begins to awaken, it cannot breathe in that compact ego structure. So ego has to get shattered. And that's why it's so powerful to receive the gift of some kind of a shocking event. Whether it's a divorce or loss, whether it's a loss of a business or loss of a job or loss of your support structures. But something that we thought where our certainty was laying on, it gets dismantled through the process of awakening. That's why true awakening is a shock. True awakening often comes to humans as a shock. So when I hear people say that they're going through a challenging time, yes, Sergio, bliss and ecstasy is a part of awakening. But I have found that is on the later stages. I'm talking right in the beginning, when the ego goes through the first shattering. For the first shattering, usually I have found it's a shock, the dark night of the soul. And then when the egoic structures get loosened up, so the being can breathe, so your soul can breathe, then you will access spontaneous waves of bliss and ecstasy, right, beloveds? So 5 years of awakening has been challenging, and in the beginning of my life hit rock bottom. So many of us had to hit the rock bottom, and I will never forget my rock bottom. I actually had 2 deep dark night of the soul, and the second one was right before my soul called me to my mission. It was as if I spent 10 or plus years of trying to find my mission, right? I didn't know the power of surrender yet. And there was a moment where I hit the rock bottom of my rock bottom was a loss of all faith in the meaning of life. And I felt that what's the use of carrying such strong inner gifts, carrying so much power within, but not knowing where to direct it? So for me, the agony was living with my unrealized potential. Let me know if this was your agony at one point. Living with your unrealized potential, knowing that this is a sacred lifetime, this is a special lifetime, feeling the pressure of your wanting to break through creativity, your spiritual potential, your spiritual power, but not knowing how to direct it. And that's what surrender is key here, beloveds, because when we surrender and we say, I don't mind what happens. I don't mind how long it's gonna take. I don't mind what will it ask of me. I surrender my preferences, my egoic demands, my attachments, my fears, my doubts, my wounds, my worries. I lay it all down on the altar of my devotion, and I choose to awaken fully. I choose to awaken fully. I choose to awaken fully. The process of surrender, beloveds, that's where the spirit of grace is irresistibly drawn to the genuine surrender moment of the soul, where you can truly take the hands out of trying to steer your life. You know, you're like, I am steering my life, even though I can barely hang on, but I'm steering my life. You know that feeling, comparing to, wow, maybe there is some much higher power is steering my life, and I'm here to witness, to listen, and to follow that steering. Yeah, surrender, beloveds. So, awakening, the first stage of soul ascension, is where we go through several waves of our ego fighting our soul. It's like a boxing match, right? A boxing match. Ego fighting the soul. It doesn't know how to surrender fully, so it takes several attempts. And your higher self is this timeless part of you. Your higher self and your oversoul is, imagine that your higher self is like the sun. Your higher self is like the sun, beloveds. And the sun has many rays of sunshine. And I'm just going to offer this perspective that your oversoul is like the sun. And every single lifetime that you have ever lived is a ray of the sun. So you're simultaneously living all of your multiple incarnations right here, right now. And every choice, every sovereign choice you make right here, right now, creates a ripple of impact in all of your parallel lifetimes. To me, awakening to that realization has shifted everything. Everything. The way I see how everything truly matters. How incredibly mysterious this journey is. How much I truly don't understand yet. How much is beyond my understanding. How much is truly here to evoke a sense of awe. How much is here to evoke a sense of innocence, a sense of my life is not only my own. And then another perspective that I'll offer you, and as always, beloveds, please don't believe anything I say. Trickster. Don't believe anything I say. Verify what you hear with how resonant it is with your own inner teacher. You can count that language that I use can only be useful to a point, and the lenses through which transmission comes through is conditioned through my personal experience, through my personal set of beliefs, concepts, and ideas. So that's also a filter. I wish I could remove all filters. So whatever you receive that feels like a wave of resonance, that meant it's for you. And whatever doesn't feel like resonance, just say it's not for me. That's it. Verify through your life experience, direct experience into the awakening of your soul, into ascension of your soul. That's where we're here to witness and to celebrate and to encourage each other. It can be incredibly isolating to walk the path of soul ascension. Incredibly isolating. First, you live a double life, hiding in your closet, talking to your crystals and your angels when nobody is listening, nobody can hear. Then you come out into the daylight and you share, and you find, wow, there are other aliens, there are other star seeds. I am not alone. And then you begin to gain your confidence and gain your momentum, and finding that you're not only to share a message, you are here to be a part of the movement. A movement of light leaders, a movement of light workers, a movement of healers, a movement of soulful teachers, artists, visionaries, inventors, awakened scientists, researchers, writers, and so on and so on. Yes, so beloveds, on the stage 2, which is tomorrow, that's where when we begin to access the memories of our parallel lifetimes for a reason, because they hold the treasure, they hold the clue, what this incarnation is about. So we're going to drop in deeper into another layer of the star seeds. Some people say we are all star seeds, and there is truth to it, because we're all made of star dust. And the planet Earth, Gaia, is our true home. Our consciousness comes from the stars, from our star parents. One of my deepest obsessions is ancient mystery teachings. And when ancient Egyptian, pre-Atlantean teachings start finding me and I start connecting, it was all code after code after code of remembrance. And the first time I heard about Isis and her beloved lover, husband, brother, Osiris. Ancient traditions say that ancient people were seeing them as our star parents. Isis came from the star civilization known as Sirius. So if you resonate with a definition, you say, I'm a Sirian star seed. You resonate with the consciousness of planet Sirius, which is that civilization is known in their incredible mastery of healing with sound. They're the most masterful healers. So if you're drawn to sound healing, whether to play it for others or to be a part of sound healing experiences, this is one of your portals how you communicate with your guides. When I go to sound healings, this is one of my most potent ways to create whatever I desire to create, an architect with the quantum field. So I sit in the sound healing and I receive recalibration of my entire being. And I'm also opening all of my channels for the galactics to stream new soul codes, new information, while consciously architecting what this next lunar cycle is all about. So that's a Syrian technology. How do we work with sound? And then we have Orion constellation. I've always been fascinated by Orion. It's the 3 stars. Where you look at the sky, you can always find Orion belt. I wonder why. So there's the star seeds from Orion are incredible beings that have mastered the power of the mind. So usually Orion star seeds, when I meet Orion star seeds, they have a highly developed intellect, and they use the intellect in the service of the soul. But in ancient times, they would look at these 2 constellations, Sirius, the brightest star, Sirius, and Orion, and ancient people were saying Isis and Osiris were our star parents. That beings, the divine beings who were the master geneticists who created and fine-tuned our DNA, were those star beings. And the deeper you go to that remembrance, the only place to verify the truth of what you can access is through your body resonance, through your heart resonance. Because your body can say, yes, I am ready for this remembrance, or no, not yet. Beloveds, let's go on a little journey together. Enough of all this talking. Let's go into stillness. An exquisite presence. I am so blessed with your presence. One of the sacred opportunities for us starseeds is to truly develop our beyond normal organs of perception. So imagine that spiritual organs, they develop with intention. So spiritual organs will not develop by itself. And what I mean by that, our ability to create with our imagination gets to be trained. Our ability to use telepathy gets to be trained. Our ability to receive messages through clairaudience gets to be trained. So spiritual organs and spiritual gifts get to be trained and refined and developed. So every time I offer a ritual or an inner journey. It's a part healing experience, part spiritual healing experience, part training of your visionary abilities, of your abilities to perceive on the inner planes, and a part energetic recalibration. 12, 12 right here when I just said that. So if you can stay for this part, I encourage you to do so. It's very, very potent. And we are going to invite some of the star nations to join us, the benevolent star nations. Yeah. All right. So as usual, let's go on the inner planes, beloveds. Let's move our attention and straighten your spine. And I'm just gonna introduce you to a very simple process of connecting to your Kundalini right now, right here, right now, right here. There is no other time or space but right now. So with your eyes closed, moving your attention into your heart, move your attention all the way to the bottom of your spine. And imagine you can squeeze that part of your body. Squeeze your, I forgot the name, but there's a term in the yogic tradition. Squeeze your root chakra, let's just say that. Imagine that you can bring that energy, just feel this energy activating your body. Squeeze and breathe. And you notice that you begin to build what? Heat. If you ever feel sleepy or lacking energy, this is your energy current living within you. Okay, now you can just rest and breathe normal. Now the next part of this process, imagine that on the top, in the very, very bottom of your root chakra, there is a liquid gold, like a circle of a liquid gold on the bottom of your spine. And your job is to move that ball of liquid energy with your intent. You begin to move it up the spine until it reaches your third eye. Very simple, a very powerful activation. So now let's just begin again and now synchronize your breath. Imagine that you inhale and you move that golden energy from the root all the way to your third eye. One more time. Remember, in your third eye is where your inner golden sun is located. So when your pineal gland, the pineal gland awakening is also gradual and sometimes not so gradual. But you can use this very simple exercises of breath, visualization, and intention. And if you're ready to make a powerful declaration, Next time you bring that golden energy and you focus on your third eye, intent with all your purity. I choose the full soul awakening. I choose the full soul awakening. I intend and I receive and I delightfully choose my full soul awakening this lifetime. And by declaring and insisting and consciously choosing your soul awakening, you're inviting the divinity code within you to come into flowering. You're inviting the immortality code to awaken within you. You're inviting the light of your soul to dispel the illusion of death. So you begin to live as immortal self, here to create your life as art. That is what you choose when you choose your full soul awakening. With your eyes closed, imagine yourself sitting in quantum space. Imagine there is stars everywhere. You are sitting at the center of a galaxy. This is so familiar. Every star sparkles and shines, basking you in a cool starlight. And you begin to see several stars beginning to move toward you, surrounding you in a circle of stars, each one growing in size and energetic power, until you see each star as a shimmering diamond light gateway. And each star that surrounds you represents a star nation that has been guiding your consciousness into a greater remembering of your soul mission, your soul group mission, and a planetary mission. They begin to stream telepathically benevolent light codes into your being. Allow yourself to receive recalibration and support from your star guides. You can feel deep sense of calm or waves of excitement, peacefulness, or emotional warmth. Whatever you feel, thank you for your ability to feel. And in the next moment, all the star nations that have been directing their energy and their loving support into your being, they begin to project all of that energy into one beautiful gift. It forms itself in a crystal that you get to take home with you and simply observe the crystal that takes form right now in front of you. The color, the shape, the size. Visualize yourself holding it in your hands. This crystal will represent your reconnection with your soul mission. In a much deeper way that you have done before so far. So now if it feels good, imagine merging that crystal with your heart chakra. Your heart chakra has enormous capacity to hold all of you, your galactic self, your human self, and everything in between. So merge this gift from the star nations who came here to honor every single one of us for choosing to stay awake where it's so easy to fall asleep, to stay asleep, to stay numb, to stay distracted, to stay avoidant. Every conscious choice for presence, for awakening, for ascension is recorded in Akashic records. And you create your future by every choice of being consciously present in the moment. Honor yourself for being here. Honor yourself for being willing. Feel your galactic self who is so at home on the cosmic level consciousness. And now feel how much expanded you can sense yourself to be in just few minutes. Just few minutes of this cosmic consciousness attunement. This is you as a universal self, cosmic self. Now, without shrinking yourself, begin to merge this cosmic consciousness with your physical body. Beginning to realize that your higher self holds your body. Your cosmic self holds your body. Your soul holds your body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the mantra for the next 24 hours, I choose my full soul awakening now. And when you're ready, beloveds, I invite you to open your eyes and Notice. See your environment from this expanded perspective. Here you are. Here we are. Mm. Mm. Awakening is a process of blossoming. Blossoming into a greater and greater beauty of your soul. Blossoming in your sovereignty. Blossoming in your strength, in your dynamic, authentic power. Blossoming in your wisdom, in your service, in your generosity. Yes, awakening can be shocking, can be disrupting, but as the great mother Kali, which she wanted to come to this transmission, and I've been working with the goddess Kali, which is the dark goddess, the dark medicine, the most fierce love of the sacred mother. When you being asked to release your old life, your old identity, your old relationships, it is because they're too tight for your soul. Your soul can't expand in the tightness of your old self. So the old self gets to be surrendered, surrendered, surrendered. So your cosmic self can merge even deeper into expanded sense of self. Oh, beloveds, I am so grateful to be with you and to share these ideas and perspectives. Please don't believe anything I say. Again. Verify it through this magical resonance. Resonance. Oh, the alchemy of resonance. Resonance is what brought you here. And I would dare to propose this perspective that all of us here, because we are all part of one group soul, that we actually incarnate as a part of a soul group. Maybe it's 100 people, maybe it's 1,000 people, maybe it's 10,000 people. So when you feel resonance, I encourage you to trust the resonance, because you feel pulled instead of being pushed. You're being pulled by the soul resonance. Trust it. There is more there for you tomorrow. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be back tomorrow. Are you going to be back tomorrow? Shall we take it to the next level? I have missed you, beloveds, and I love being in this vortex with you. It is such a gift. We are on the same team. We are on the team source. We're here to support healing of collective mind, healing of collective soul, healing of collective body. And we're here to open up the ancient wisdom stream that is within every single one of you, to trust Kundalini awakening and not to fear it. I had a conversation with a beautiful soul that said, Katerina, I had a very dramatic Kundalini awakening. Now I'm kind of afraid when it comes up. And I was encouraging her. I'm like, don't be afraid of life. Kundalini is life. So when you are not afraid to open up your gates and your channels, you begin to live as a cosmic self here in your human suit. I love you so much, beloveds. It's a sweet reunion with my community. And thank you for the gift of your exquisite presence. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., we are going back, and tomorrow I will save the time for Q&A. I feel to complete today at 90 minutes, and then tomorrow we'll have more spaciousness. I love you. We are on the same team, Team Source. Let's not be afraid of life or of death. Both are portals of initiation into ascension. And we'll talk tomorrow, how do we open up our immortality gate. There's a gate in our body for immortality. And it doesn't mean that we are not gonna have physical death. We will, but it's simply changing of an outfit for the soul, right? We're changing an outfit. I love you too, beloveds. Look at these incredible comments. You have been deeply engaged throughout, and I felt your presence so much. It's a true, true gift to be here with you. And your light matters. Your light, one light of one starseed light rebalances thousands and thousands of asleep personalities who create chaos. One activated starseed who walks in harmony rebalances a chaotic movements of thousands of those who are still in the grips of illusion. Your consciousness's contribution to humanity. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tips for integration. Get outside, put your magical feet into the earth, grab the earth with your fingers, feel your feet chakra opening up to receive, receive, receive. Put your face under the sun. May the Father Sun blesses your face, right? Say hello to Pachamama, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Love you so much, beloveds. Thank you, thank you, thank you.